Welcome to Bees Frank Talk with Xavi. Today we're going to look at a different topic altogether. It's well known that when you go to professions like medical field, now you have to become a doctor, you have your own surgery, or you have a pharmacy and all that. But now we are now seeing the emergence of young people and professionals who are now venturing into different businesses, manufacturing of needles, manufacturing of swabs, all these things, and also importing, and some of them they are doing very well. Today we thought we should just invite one of the player in the industry, a young entrepreneur, Lorato Molema. But we're going to look at a topic which is very interesting because that is an industry on its own. It's a field on its own, but we just have to look at the available opportunity for small businesses in the health and medical industry. Lorato, welcome, and thank you very much for agreeing to this interview today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Lorato, can you take us through who is Lorato, what business are you doing, and so that our audience can just get a grip to say, oh, maybe I can call here for a business tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Lorato Molema is a girl from Pretoria, or a woman from Pretoria, I don't know where to start, who ventured into this business in 2016 when I was working in a project, an IT project in Ikululeni, a health IT project in Ikululeni, where I was working closely with the end users and corporates, where they will complain about not having certain products on time, where they will just complain about suppliers that they had at that moment. And I thought to myself, I could actually come in here, I can solve this problem for them, and that's how Ithuse Medical was started. I registered Ithuse Medical in 2016. I started telling them about it, to say that the product that you guys are battling to find locally, I can actually import it for you guys and bring it to you guys on time. So that's me and Ithuse Medical in a nutshell.
I like what you said, that you saw a gap in the market, because that is what the motivation when it comes to entrepreneurship, to say you need to identify a gap and you need to close that gap.
Yeah.
So it's not about, yes, we want to make gains financially, but what is important is to solve a problem that you have already identified.
Yeah.
You did mention that you do import some of the products and all that. How easy or complex was it to get the license and the processing of the process of having your own import-export license?
Yeah, so I didn't have any idea of the business, of course. This was my first business to register. So I did a lot of research. I had to first register the company with CIPC.
Okay.
And then from there, I then had to register for the import and export license with SARS. And then from there, I had to get the SAPRA certificate. So it hasn't been easy. It has been a journey to get all the certification. But with the help of my accountant, somebody advised me when I was starting to say that you need to get, I know your business is small, but you need to have an accountant. There are accountants for small businesses who truly holds your hand to help you acquire the necessary certificates that you need. So the import and export certificate I was held by my
the accountant. Okay.
And the SAPRA certificate I outsourced for that as well. So it wasn't hard at all.
So what's happening is you're saying that it gave you a good kind of experience, that if somebody watching now can say, Lorato, please can you help me to go through the process of export-import, you can stand in a gap to assist them.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay.
So here is Lorato, but Lorato is not going to do it for free. Yeah, she's going to make sure that you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And then now...
No, you always have to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
These services don't come for free.
Exactly, because otherwise, actually also, Lorato, is that in as much as we are doing the business, we are in business, we need to understand what value do I have as an individual
Yeah.
to add into the industry?
True.
And after all, if you call me and say you need an hour of my time, what value do I put into my business back?
Exactly.
Now, the other thing that I just wanted to check with you is, what are the challenges or the hindrances that you are looking at when it comes to dealing with hospitals and government, especially in your space, because there are big players that are already there, and we know that there are private hospitals, there are government, and everybody's there out there, but do you see them as a client, and do they avail themselves as the clients that you were looking for?
Yeah. Government is my biggest client at the moment. I work most of the time with government hospitals. The biggest hindrances that I have experienced is that it's very hard they want what they want. The end users want what they know and what they want. And you'll find that these big players, as you saying, they have good products already, or they've been in the market for long, that the end users know only about their products. So as a new business, if, for example, I'm importing a product from China that is generic to the product that they know, it's very hard to convince them into using this product and believing in this product. And when you try to buy from the big companies now, they take themselves as the sole suppliers or the sole distributors, or
Big Brother is out there.
Yes, or they have their own sole distributors. So they are kind of like gatekeepers. If it's either us or nobody who can supply this product. So I think the most difficult part is just convincing the end users that my product is as good as per product. Try it. Here's a sample. Try it and let me know.
Did you have pepper you are mentioned?
That was an example.
You say as good as paper products?
Yeah.
So paper is well known out there, and everybody knows about it. And now, coming to one of the key issues, especially when you deal with your government, when you deal with your corporate, do you see payment coming through timelessly, or are there delays? Because some of the small businesses are struggling when it comes to getting paid for their services.
Yeah, no, true. That's a big issue as well. I mean, government has a 30-day policy on to pay invoices, especially for small businesses. It must be paid in 30 days. But it doesn't happen like that. Your invoice can spend 60 days without being paid.
Oh no.
You go and inquire about your invoice. They tell you that they've run out of budget. What must I do then? Like, what must happen when you're out of budget?
So you have to wait for Mr. Mboweni.
Yes. Now you
to go and talk to tell you, okay, we have allocated so much. And now when they say they ran out of budget, you say, no, I had the minister said you got so much to
Or they will
pay.
tell you that you have an invoice for 100,000, and they will tell you that they cannot pay it in full because their budget doesn't allow them to. I run a small business, I fully depend on what I make month to month. Like, there's no way I can let you not pay me or pay my invoice for 60 months. That is just ridiculous. But the truth is that's what's happening both in private and public.
There are two things I want us to look at, because we know that the payment and everything that is happening.
Yeah.
But the corruption that's in the play, and also the fraud that is at the play.
Yeah.
I remember when we met, you were talking about this guy who sent you a proof of payment for the order that they expected you to process and to pay for.
Yeah.
How prevalent is this in the industry, where you get this fraud and these people that claim that they running these big companies and they can buy from you anytime and they expect you to supply them?
Yeah, no, there are lots of those ones. This one, it looked very legit. I'm used to people sending me things that are not legit. You know, I get emails every day of requests that are not legit. I'm used to that. Right now, I know like how to differentiate from a scam and a legit request. But that one looked very legit. That was the first time I literally get somebody who sent me a notification, a bank notification that is fake, and a proof of payment that is fake. Honestly, it looked very legit, and he was very pushy, and that's the other thing that I picked up. That why is this person pushing me to release the material when the payment has not been cleared? You know what I mean? He was saying that no, look at the bank notification, look at the proof of payment that I paid.
So what you're saying is that the moment you pick up that the person is pushy, edgy, and all this, those could be the red flags.
Yeah, don't. I mean, if your policy is you need to receive the payment before you release the stock, and a person is trying to not stick to your policies, then you should just not do business with them at all. And the other thing I think you should look at is the bank notifications. I think people picked up that the transfer on the bank notification was wrong. I didn't even pick that up. So you really need to scrutinize.
Actually, I tried to even look at it to say, well, how did these people pick all these things? Because the other one would talk about the transfer.
Yes.
The other one would talk about, I was like, okay. So, but sometimes as a small business, Lorato, let's face it, you see a payment of 32,000, you get excited, and you feel like, wow, we have a deal. And like you're saying, that being cautious and also trying to make sure that you are paid before you can even release your stock. And because now the other message, I think that was like, for me, it was like, no, my driver, it's at the mall.
Yes. And those things, he said, that person said he was in Hartebees. Now he's in Witbank. When I was thinking about it, like, it was just not making sense. And now the driver is at Mall of Africa. You see, if you really try to look into it, you can really pick up all the red flags.
I also saw something you mentioned with regard to one of the retailers. I'm not going to mention their name.
Yeah.
But they are selling the products that are not approved or they don't have a stamp or authorization to be sold yet.
Yeah.
But they are appearing. And like I remember when AstraZeneca has to come to South Africa, the minister said, we have to first make sure that it's approved and all the process and everything before we can administer.
Yeah.
Now, how does it happen that the retailers get away with this?
I was surprised. Like I was literally astonished. I couldn't believe that there's a product in this big retailer that is selling products that are not approved by SAPRA. They are manufactured locally, but they are not approved by SAPRA or SABS. People are consuming these products and they are not approved. One, you cannot, what I know about the health industry, you cannot start manufacturing a product without getting approval from SAPRA and SABS.
Wow.
So I called them, they called me and they wanted to take me through their compliance processes, but unfortunately I didn't have time to talk to them then. Yeah,
the same with one of the network providers who contacted me because I shared something about their challenges and all that.
Yeah.
But I find it very strange that why would you call me when I've raised the concern? Why didn't you deal with it before?
Exactly.
Those are the things that we do. What message can you say to small businesses that are trying to enter the market and they are struggling and they don't know what to do, where to go? What message, what encouragement can you give them?
I would say to them, just do research about your industry first. I realized that young people just want to jump into business, not knowing anything about it, not having any background information about it. So do your research and go out, look for help. Like as I'm saying that I'm still very small, but I have an accountant, I have a banker, like I have people that I know when I need this, I speak to. You know what I mean? And most of all, just persevere.
Can you also mention, because I'm a mentor,
hard work, yeah.
Can you also mention that they must look for a mentor?
And a mentor as well. I think it's very important to get a mentor, like somebody that you can always go to when you are stuck and when you need help. Exactly.
Lorato, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for coming through and for insightful information in the interview. And how can they get hold of you?
Okay, they can find me at info@ithusemedical.co.za or on my cell phone 072740090.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us at Biz Frank Talk. Till next time, thank you very much.